The gods almost lost Asgard, and Loki made sure it happened. Long before the world trembled at the sound of Ragnarok, long before the gods feared their own end, there was a moment when Asgard itself stood on the edge of destruction, not because of giants or monsters, but because of a single promise whispered too easily and a trickster who enjoyed watching consequences unfold. After the great wars that shaped the 9 realms, the gods of Asgard feared one thing above all else: vulnerability. Because their shining city stood high and proud, but its walls were weak, and without protection, even gods could fall. One cold day, as the winds curled through the golden halls, a stranger arrived at the gates of Asgard, a lone builder cloaked in shadow, carrying neither army nor threat, only an offer that sounded too perfect to refuse. He claimed he could build a wall so strong that no giant, no creature, no force in the 9 worlds could ever breach it, and he promised to complete this impossible task in a single season. Before the first day of summer, the gods were intrigued, but wary, for nothing that sounds perfect ever comes without a price, and the price he demanded was unthinkable. He asked for the sun, the moon, and the hand of the goddess Freyja herself. The gods laughed, for such a payment was absurd. Yet the builder remained calm, unshaken, confident that his skill alone would bend fate. At first, the gods rejected him outright, until Loki stepped forward with a smile that hid more than it revealed, and whispered words that would change everything. "What harm is there," Loki said softly, "if we agree on one condition?"
Unveil the legends.
Loki, ever the master of dangerous ideas, proposed a compromise that seemed clever, even safe, for he suggested that the builder must complete the wall entirely on his own, without help from any man or god, and finish it before the first day of summer, or receive nothing at all. To the gods this sounded impossible. No being alive could complete such a colossal task alone in so little time, and so they agreed, sealing the bargain with oaths that could not be broken. Only Freyja sensed the shadow behind Loki's words, but even she could not foresee how deeply this deal would cut. The builder accepted the terms without hesitation, asking only for one thing: permission to use his horse, a powerful stallion named Svalafari. Again, Loki intervened, pretending to weigh the risks, and finally allowed it, assuring the gods that no horse could change the outcome of an impossible task. But from the very first night, it became clear that this was no ordinary horse. Svahar dragged massive stones with ease, shaping the foundations of the wall faster than any god could believe. And each morning the gods awoke to find the walls of Asgard rising higher, stronger, closer to completion. Days turned into weeks, and fear crept into the halls of Asgard, because what once seemed impossible was now becoming inevitable. If the builder succeeded, Freyja would be taken, the sun and moon would vanish from the sky, and the balance of the worlds would collapse. And it was only then, when the danger was undeniable, that the gods turned to Loki. The gods surrounded Loki with rage burning in their eyes, demanding answers, demanding solutions, reminding him that it was his idea that brought this disaster upon them. And Loki, for the first time, felt fear, because this was no joke gone too far. This was an oath-bound bargain, sealed by fate itself. Under threat of death, Loki swore to fix the problem, no matter the cost. That night, as the builder and his horse worked tirelessly under the moonlight, something strange appeared in the forest beyond Asgard, a Mare graceful and wild, her form irresistible, her presence impossible to ignore. Svalafari saw her, and in that moment all discipline vanished. The powerful stallion abandoned his task, chasing the Mare deep into the woods, dragging the builder's hopes behind him, leaving the wall unfinished as time slipped away. The builder raged, struggling alone to complete the final stones, but without his horse, his strength was not enough. When the final day arrived, the wall stood incomplete, and the bargain was broken. In fury, the builder revealed his true nature, casting aside his disguise and revealing himself as a giant, his eyes burning with betrayal and rage. But before he could claim vengeance, Thor returned to Asgard, and with a single swing of Mjolnir, ended the giant's life, shattering his skull and burying his ambitions beneath the stones he had laid. Gods were safe. Asgard was saved, but Loki's story did not end there. Time passed, and the gods believed that chaos was over. Yet consequences like fate never disappear. They wait. Months later, Loki returned, not with laughter or pride, but with silence. For from his deception came something the gods had never expected. From the union that night in the forest, Loki gave birth to a child, not a mortal child, but Sleipnir, an 8-legged horse, faster than the wind, stronger than any beast, born of trickery and necessity. Though the gods mocked Loki, they accepted Sleipnir as a gift, and Odin himself would later ride the mighty horse across realms, never questioning the strange origin of his steed. Yet for Loki, this was no victory. For the first time, his cleverness had forced him to bear the weight of creation itself, a reminder that every trick leaves a mark, and every lie creates something that cannot be undone. The wall still stood unfinished, its stones silent witnesses to how close the gods came to losing everything. And Loki once again walked free, smiling as if nothing had happened. This was the first time the gods learned a lesson they would ignore again and again, that Loki's greatest danger was not his strength nor his magic, but his ideas. He did not destroy Asgard with fire or steel. He nearly destroyed it with words. A suggestion, a condition, a smile. The wall was never completed, but the crack Loki placed in the trust of the gods would grow wider with every betrayal to come, because from that day forward, Loki was no longer just a companion of the gods. He became a warning, a reminder that chaos does not always arrive screaming. Sometimes it arrives offering help, and Asgard would pay that price again and again and again